Welcome back to I'm Starting to Think. I'm your host, Blueprint. Today, we're diving into a topic that's probably going to upset a lot of people. I'm starting to think. Caitlin Clark isn't the current era WNBA GOAT. Now, before you sprint to the comments, typing in all caps, let me make something clear. This isn't hate. This isn't jealousy. And this definitely isn't me saying Caitlin Clark isn't one of the biggest stars the WNBA has ever seen. She is. She's brought millions of eyes to the league. She sells jerseys. She fills arenas. She dominates headlines. But here's my question. Since when did popularity become the same thing as being the greatest basketball player? Because those are two completely different conversations. When I hear the word GOAT, I'm thinking complete basketball player. I'm thinking dominance. I'm thinking championships. I'm thinking players who perform against everybody, not just teams at the bottom of the standings. And that's where I think people are getting ahead of themselves. When you look at Caitlin Clark's season, her production has generally been stronger against teams with losing records than it has been against winning teams. Her scoring efficiency also tends to decline against the league's better defenses. Now, don't misunderstand me. Every great player has tougher nights against elite competition. But when you're already calling somebody the GOAT of this era, those games matter. The greatest players don't build their reputation beating up on the bottom of the standings. They earn it by consistently delivering against championship caliber teams. Then let's talk about efficiency. Caitlin has improved as a shooter this season. But when we're talking about GOAT conversations, good isn't the standard. Great is. Historically, great is. If you're calling somebody the best player of this era, I expect elite field goal percentages, elite three-point percentages, elite decision-making, and elite consistency. Right now, I don't think Caitlin checks every one of those boxes. And here's where I'm really going to lose some people. I'm starting to think Caitlin Clark isn't even the best player on her own team. To me, that player is Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey doesn't always get the headlines. She doesn't get the nonstop television coverage. She doesn't trend every single day on social media. She just quietly goes out there and gets buckets. Night after night. She has been one of the league's most efficient perimeter scorers. When Indiana absolutely needs a basket, Kelsey has repeatedly shown she can deliver. Now, does Caitlin make spectacular passes? Absolutely. Is she one of the league's best playmakers? Without question. But being the primary playmaker doesn't automatically make you the team's best overall player. Sometimes the most valuable scorer is the player carrying the offense when everything breaks down. To me, that's Kelsey Mitchell. Now, here's something else nobody likes talking about. The WNBA is full of elite point guards. Sometimes people talk like Caitlin invented the position. She didn't. There are outstanding guards across this league who have put together tremendous seasons. Even rookie Olivia Miles has made a strong impression. If you're asking me who's had the better overall season, I'm not automatically giving that title to Caitlin. That's my opinion. Because I value consistency, efficiency, decision-making, and impacting winning just as much as highlight plays. Now let's address the elephant in the room. The attention surrounding Caitlin Clark has become so big that controversies involving her have reached beyond basketball. Arguments over officiating, player treatment, and league decisions became national news. Some members of Congress even weighed in publicly and called for greater scrutiny surrounding issues involving the WNBA. Think about that for a second. Congress talking about basketball. That's how enormous the Caitlin Clark story has become. But here's the thing. Attention doesn't count as a championship. Attention doesn't count as a finals MVP. Attention doesn't count as defensive dominance. Now, if you ask me who's wearing the crown in this era, my answer is, Ja Wilson. And honestly, I don't think it's particularly close. Multiple MVPs, multiple championships, finals MVP, defensive player of the year honors, elite scorer, elite rebounder, elite defender. Night after night, she's dominating both ends of the floor. That's what I call complete basketball. That's what I call greatness. Imagine if somebody walked into your local gym and said, man, I hit 2 logo threes today. You ask, cool. How many shots did you make? 5 out of 22. How many turnovers? 7. Did your team win? No. But did you see those logo threes though? That's kind of how some basketball conversations sound these days. Highlights are fun. Winning is better. Consistency is even better. So where does that leave Caitlin Clark? Exactly where she should be. A phenomenal young superstar with a chance to become one of the greatest players ever. But to me, she's not there yet. Not while Ja Wilson is still dominating this era. Not while Kelsey Mitchell continues proving how valuable she is. And not while there are other elite guards and elite players throughout the WNBA making their own case every single night. Those are my thoughts. Now, I want to hear yours. Who do you think is the current era WNBA GOAT? Drop your opinion in the comments, but keep it respectful. This has been Blueprint. And until next time, I'm starting to think.